Hi, and welcome to Fay at Five. I'm LaTangelaFay, Fay, your hostess. So you know it does my heart well to have those in the hot seat and on the tan line that's doing some wonderful things across the world, just inking it and making it clear. Now, we have none other than the author herself, the visionary, Miss Tiffany D. Jackson. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm holding on. I'm usually somewhere between here and there, so I'm coming and going at the same time,
Yes.
you know?
Well, much love to you and much love to the whole community. I know, the last couple of weeks, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and then with that, it's going to be one of those ongoing situations with the recovery of Ida, and now
Yeah.
we have other disturbances that are looking as far as the weather goes. Girl, listen, let me tell you something. We need us a sweet getaway.
Yes.
And if you need a sweet getaway, all you have to do is just flip through the pages. You have been an established author for quite some time. How did you know that you wanted to take your passion of writing or reading or storytelling and make it your purpose as well as your career?
I think I've always wanted to be, no, not think. I know I always wanted to be a writer. I
Yeah.
was telling people at like 4 years old that that's what I was going to do. And of course, I got the writers don't make any money, girl. You're not going to do that. And so
Right.
it took a long time to actually get here and find my purpose, but it was something of a dream of mine my whole entire life. And what's amazing is to be able to write these books that I wanted as a child. Like I wanted these type of like thrillers and horrors and stuff like that. I wanted to see myself on the page. So I'm excited to sort of like write for young Tiffany's because I know there's like a billion of us out there as well too.
Right. And I love the fact that you said, you wanted to see the young Tiffany jump off the page because representation matters.
Yes.
And with that, knowing that you want what you missed when you were a child or a young adult, do you feel the pressure or even the responsibility of saying, I'm going to provide this type of content because I owe it to my younger self?
Um, I don't really feel the pressure and the responsibility because I love what I do.
Mhm.
Like I love being able to write these stories. These are things that I've always wanted to do. So it feels like it's amazing to kind of be so blessed and be able to do something that I love and also have an impact. And I know there's not many. I mean, I'm one of two Black YA horror writers.
Yeah.
There's none in our field. And so
Wow, that
it's
says a lot.
yeah, and even like in the thriller genre, I was like one of five. And that's just very recently. So, it's a lonely road sometimes, and you're, constantly paving your own path. But it's something that I still appreciate and enjoy. Like I still get a thrill out of it. Like today's a release day for me, and I'm like, oh my God, I have another book out in the world. Like
Yeah.
it get old.
Right. And it's like birthing, because it comes to you as a vision. And then once you start inking it and you start getting the pages the way that you want them, and you start creating these characters and the storylines, how do you manage to stay inspired? Because it's one thing to say, I want to write a book, but how do you keep the pace until the finish line, until release date, and say that, I finished it and I'm ready?
I want to like be funny and be like, bills because
Truth.
I, I need to get paid. There is no. I am a single Black woman out here living in
Hello.
Brooklyn. Like, but honestly, I get inspired just by like just everyday life. Honestly,
Yeah.
there's so many. A lot of my books are loosely inspired by real cases. A lot of true crime, a lot of horror that I've like stumbled upon. People have also like sent me cases like you should write a book about this.
Yeah.
And that's honestly where I get a lot of my inspiration from. Just still kind of reading old cases, digging into it, learning about different people's cultures and city.
Mhm.
Even for White Smoke, this was very much loosely inspired by the city of Detroit and learning about what happened to during the recession and how a lot of people lost their homes and why there's so many empty homes in Detroit. And I
Right.
never really, because obviously in in New York, we don't have a piece of free space anywhere.
Right. Everybody's on top of everything at
Yes,
all
and
times.
the idea of, and I went there for the first time, the idea of just literally blocks, just empty, but with homes. I was like, why isn't anyone living here? Like, there's all this space. Like, you have space to move and breathe. And then learning about, the trickle down effect of how it all happened. It was point blank, it was sinister, and hence why it really inspired the book.
That's good. And while you're finding the inspiration and you're creating these messages, especially for White Smoke, for the first time reader of a Tiffany D. Jackson young adult novel, what pieces of you do you want them to find within these pages?
Oh, pieces of me. I suppose that sense of curiosity, but being like smart about your curiosity. Like I mean, of course, this is a horror / psychological thriller. So, and as Black folks, we tend not to like go upstairs and see what the random
Girl,
noise.
what's that? Huh? Okay.
Like,
We're not
oh,
going upstairs to see anything. I'm out the
yes,
door.
exactly. Which, you definitely feel that in this book, that energy in this book, how like, we kind of look a little bit smarter at problems. But yes, that sense of curiosity about like why things are the way they are and how the game is actually played. So I'm hoping to inspire people to, just always dig a little deeper, do your research.
That's good. And I know during this whole pandemic and the world shutting down and trying to keep that level of creativity, curiosity, and consistency has been a challenge. I always ask myself, Tan, did you get your steps in today? Mental, physical, spiritual, because it's important to unplug, unwind, and to tap
Mhm.
into the source. How do you
Yeah.
manage to do that for Tiffany? I know you have all of these stories floating around, all of these stories that you're researching, but when you need to find your zen and just say, I'm not today, not today, how do you find yourself?
Honestly, I typically start my day with about 30 minutes of prayer,
Mhm.
just kind of reading the word and, just sort of mellowing out. So I know like, okay, I'm going to walk in there, with the strength. But then also, I lean on my friends who are not in publishing. They always sort of keep me grounded. We can go out to parties, we can, drink and listen to music and just have a good time. And, that's really what keeps me incredibly grounded and my safe space, to be able to just unwind with people that I love, with family that I love, eating a lot of good food. I love me some food. That's why I really miss New Orleans. So I'm just kind of like,
Right. Come home soon.
I know I'm trying to come home. You should see me every time I'm down there. I'm like, oh yeah, every restaurant. Like I'm a
This
hungry.
one and that one and that one and this one. Oh, that's a new one. That one too.
Yes, yes.
Well,
So
good.
I feel like that's one of the biggest ways that I kind of keep myself grounded and, sort of burying myself in love.
Yeah. And I want you to think of this as an extension of your office, so whenever you have things that's going on, you have a new release date, you got questions that need answers, you hit me up and say, Tan, I need to jump on the Tan line, and it is a done deal.
Thank you.
Anytime, girl, teamwork gonna make this dream work. Now, how can we keep up with you, your movements, and all of the new projects? Because I know you're always on to this one and the next one.
So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Write and BK. Also on TikTok, I'm on TikTok as well too. So at Write and BK, that's WRITEINBK. And also you can look up any of my work on my website, www.writeandbk.com.
Love it, and I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you could do about it. And I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Thank you.